Hello dear students, how are you? Hope all of you are safe and healthy. Myself Jayashri Teli welcomes you in virtual video class of TYBA Special English for English Drama. Friends, we are discussing on module number 7, Nagamandala. It was written by well-known bilingual playwright Girish Karnad. In last two videos, I explained life and work of Girish Karnad and literary work of Girish Karnad. Girish Karnad was a playwright, actor, director, screenplay writer and film producer. He was a multi-dimensional person. Nagamandala was one of his important and popular play. It was written in Kannada first and then he translated in English. His plays like Talidanda, Tughlaq, Haivadana, Nagamandala and other number of plays translated not only in English but also number of other Indian languages. So friends, let's turn towards Nagamandala. From today we start Nagamandala. Let's start it. So in introduction to play I have to focus on some points. These points are very important related to objective questions. Okay. So note these points and remember these points. The present story Nagamandala was told to Girish Karnad by his friend and mentor Professor A.K. Ramanujan. You heard the name of A.K. Ramanujan was a well-known Indian poet and he was the friend and mentor of Girish Karnad. He told the story, the idea of story. It is a folk tale and it was told by the A.K. Ramanujan to Girish Karnad. And Girish Karnad picked up the subject from this folk tale and he wrote Nagamandala. And that's why he also dedicated his Nagamandala to A.K. Ramanujan. Nagamandala was dedicated, notice, it was dedicated to A.K. Ramanujan. The play Nagamandala was written in 1987 when Girish Karnad worked as a visiting professor in Chicago University. In 1987 to 88, Girish Karnad worked as a visiting professor in Chicago University and that is the proper time of writing Nagamandala. He completed his writing in 1987 and he published this book in 1988. He published this book in 1988. So the next and important thing regarding this story is that subtitle. Nagamandala has a subtitle and the subtitle is The Play with a Cobra. I request all the students, you should listen these videos with pen and notebook and note every point. It helps you in exam time. Okay. The subtitle of the play is The Play with a Cobra. Then one more and very important thing is that it is a story within story. Nagamandala is not a single story, but here we see that there is a story within story. There one is the main story, the outline story is different and the inner story is different. So story within story we find in Nagamandala. And one of the most important things, every word is very important here. Open-ended story. This is open-ended story. Author here leaves the ending open because there is not the uh, certain end. You have a choice what to do. Learner have a choice to what to do. So it is open ended, means that there is no fixed end. That's why it is called as an open ended story. This play, this is two act play, or this play is in divided in two acts. There are two acts. Every point have a single, every point is related with MCQs. The subtitle of the play is The Play with a Cobra. Story within story, it is story within story. Open-ended story, two-act play. Written in Kannada, then translated by Karnad himself in English. And one more thing is that it is written in 1987 when the Girish Karnad worked as a visiting professor in Chicago University and published in 1988. This is also important point. Written in 87 and published in 1988. It was dedicated with A.K. Ramanujan, and the story also told him. The idea of story was given by the A.K. Ramanujan to Girish Karnad. It is a folk tale. Okay. Now let's turn towards characters. Nagamandala. Nagamandala is a look here. Characters in Nagamandala. Characters in play first story. I already told you that this is a story within story. So, first we see the characters in first story. In the first story is the man. The man who was a playwright. He was a playwright, means he was dramatist. His plays were staged, or his plays were presented on the stage, and that's why, or hence, number of people remained awake to watch play. That's why one day one saint cursed him that he would die if he did not remain awake for one whole night. He took as a joke, he started laughing. But once again the saint says that repeated his work, if he would not remain awake for a whole night, then he will die. The days passed one by one one by one, and on the last day of month he come under the tension. He remembers the words of the saints that you have to remain awakened for whole night. In trace, he went to the temple, whether he don't know what is the statue in temple, whether there is a god or goddess, he don't know. But he sat there, he was thinking, he was speaking with self that if I sleep, I would be die. In such a condition, there enters four flames. Flames means they are number of the flames 4. This 4 word is also very important. Flames means ज्योती, दिवे ज्याला आपण म्हणतो, ज्योती किंवा दिवे. 4 दिवे सुद्धा त्या ठिकाणी येतात. And flames enters in the midnight, and The flames speaks about they gossip about what happened in others' home, in their homes, or what is going on in the village. The flames are gossiping with each other. And also, this is that they will interested in telling story, but they need a person who would spread the story all over or throughout the village and out of the village. Now the thing is that the man who was unseen by the flames, he come in front of flames and so motto. He come in front of the flames and he became ready to spread the story all over the world, all over the village or outside the village. But he want to listen story because why he want to listen story? Because he wanted to remain awake. That's why he want to listen story. On the other hand, the flames have a condition. They put condition in front of the man that they will told the story to him, but he had to spread the story all over the village and out of the village. The man was ready to spread the story, but he had a condition that if sleep came to him or if his eyes closed in the night after midnight, whenever throughout the night, then it's responsibility, it's duty of the flames to awake him. Means the flame put condition to the man and man put condition to the flames. And now flames started they started to tell the story. So in the first story there is story itself also a character. The man, flames and the story. These three things works as a characters in first story of the play. Then now let's turn towards the second story or the story within stories, characters in story within a play or the main story which we have to study, which is based on the folk tale. Okay. Here Rani is the first character. She is central character of the play. And Rani is the central character and a young lady. She was young lady, newly married wife of Appanna. She is newly married wife of Appanna. She is from very poor family. And that's why Appanna is from rich family. He has no parents also, and that's why his poor parents thought that our daughter will be remain in happy. There was no parents also and he was a rich person. That's why these poor parents married Rani with Appanna. And Appanna was husband of Rani. Already we knew that. He was very rude person, rich but mannerless person. He was affair with other women. That's why he always locks. What he do? He always locks his wife in the house. And in the first night, he cleared Rani that he did not remain in the house. He only once at the lunch time he will visit the house. But There is no any relations like wife and husband. Both are the newly wedded couple, but he always behave very rudely. Appanna locked her in his home. He had affair with another woman, and he treated very cruelly his young wife. Who was young, who was very nice woman. That's why we see that near about more than half play she was always crying. She remained alone throughout the night. Only he come for lunch at the midday, once in a day. So he never gives respect to his wife also. And see, he never responsible for answering the questions of the Rani. That's why she remained unhappy. She always crying. So there was a neighborer woman, Kurudava. The third character from here is Kurudava, who was old and blind woman. Who was old and blind woman. She is blind, but she senses that there was someone in Appanna's house and who was disturbed. Something wrong with that lady, and that's why Kurudava speaks with Rani from window. Okay, and she gives her mystical roots which she applied in the food and gives to Appanna. According to Kurudava, these mystical roots helps her to attract his husband Appanna. On the first day, he feels not well and not so effective on Appanna. That's why Kurudava next day gives the other mystical root or the extra dose of mystical roots, and the curry become very red. So what Rani do? Rani throw the curry on the outside ant hill. It was very big ant hill, and you know that ant hill is known as the house of snakes. The snake or the naga in the ant hill taste the curry, and that's why Naga was attracted towards Rani. We have to see it later. The Kappanna was the next character, son of Kurudava. He was Kurudava. Kappanna means black person in reality, and he was son of Kurudava. Then next character is Naga. King Cobra, you know that. Naga. Naga is also the god in, he is known as a god in Hindu Sanskriti or in Hindu culture. Naga was lover of Rani. As he tasted the curry made with the mystical roots, she applied mystical roots when she makes curry, and she throws it on the anthill where Naga lived, and Naga tasted it, and Naga attracted towards Rani. Naga every night visits Rani in the form of Appanna. That's why Rani was unaware of that. Who was he? Naga speaks very with love, and in short, in loving manners. See, he behaves lovingly. He speaks with lovingly, and he keeps the same relation which has a one husband and wife have. And that's why Rani became happy. But Rani can't understand that. At midday, He was very strong person. He always angry man, and in night he was loving man. What is difference? He can never understand. But she was happy that he changed. For night also he changed. It is also very positive thing for Rani, and that's why she remain happy. In short, in this story, we see with help of Rani Appanna, the patriarchal society or the male-dominated society we see here, and Naga, who has a relation with Rani, made her pregnant, and Appanna, who became angry, and she brought the matter in front of Panchayat. This Panchayat also the character here. Panchayat is the village Panchayat. And what happens here when he brought the matter in front of the Panchayat? Panchayat says that to prove herself, she is or her character is very auspicious. पवित्र आहे कॅरेक्टर या पद्धतीने आपल्याला प्रूव्ह करण्यासाठी ही पंचायत सेज दॅट यू हॅव टू took hand in ant hole and pit, and she was ready. She was happy when she goes to the ant hill, because see, when she goes to ant hill and put hand in the ant pit, the snake or the naga came out of the ant pit, and it goes down, or it naga flight and sit on in the neck of the Rani. That's why village Panchayat declares her as a goddess. Village Panchayat declares her as a goddess. These are the characters. We have to study story step by step. You have some ideas, but I am today, the main intention of my video is that to focus on the characters only, to introduce you the characters, not the study of characters, but introduce you the characters. So we see that the main stories characters are Rani, Appanna, Kurudava, Kappanna, Naga and Panchayat. And in first story, we see the characters man, flames and the story. What happens in the end is very different thing. We have to go ahead and study the story or the play. That's important. We have different angles here for study. Very different angles. We have to study in every video different things. Okay. First, in next video, I will discuss on the story, on the plot, then themes, different themes and such other things. Okay. In this today's video, you have to focus on these very important points. You should repeat the video, and here you find number of answers for your MCQs. Okay. Thank you very much. I stop here, and in next video we will meet.